What is up, you guys? How are you doing? And welcome. This is a different kind of video because I am cringing at the mostest. I am cringing deeply inside because today I want to get you guys to know me better. And to do that, I have to share some stories, which I am sure you would not mind. So today's story time is definitely gonna be the cringiest. I cringe inside, and it's literally something that I didn't think I would bring up myself, but you know, I want you guys to get to know me, and yeah, I don't know. I would like for you when you're watching this video I want you to keep an open mind, and also the fact that there are two sides to every story. So yeah. Normally I do not script my videos. You guys know that. I just say whatever. I just blurt out my thoughts. I just blurt out what I need to say. And sometimes that can make people mad, make people or whatever people feel. So today's a cringy one, like I said. I am going to be really revealing to you a story that, but I have some key points here that I just remembered one. Gonna mark this. So this is gonna be I want to say one story, but there's also gonna be honorable mentions, highlights, however you want to put that, just like a football game. But mainly this is gonna be the story of. Gah! You will soon realize, okay, the reason why I'm cringing so hard is because I'm gonna tell you guys about my high school crush and how I ghosted him a little bit, and the reasons why I did it. But also, I say that I have honorable mentions is because I do. And they're very interesting, I would say. Again, there's 2 points to every story. So, yeah. This is my take. Obviously, he will have some other take. But holy cannoli! I am cringing! Okay, so let's just, because the thing is, if I only stuck to one story, the story is of how I ghosted him, it would be really short, and this won't be a long enough video for YouTube. So here we go. So let's set the scene, right? Sophomore in high school, yours truly. So, freshman year, I gotta be honest, I do not recall my first year of freshman. Like freshman high school, I do not recall at all because, again, as I will reveal it one day, but there is a situation that happened before we even started high school that fucked with me, fucked up my mindset, and one day I will hopefully be comfortable enough to share it with you guys one day, but for right now, I am not going to reveal that. So, sophomore year, I was not okay. I was not okay at all. I was very down, depressed actually, and everything. No. I was just not about anything or anyone, even school. I mean, I did school, but I was just like, I was going through it. And for some reason, and here's the thing with high school too, is that there's like, what should we call them? There's groups, levels, categories, however fuck you sort people or whatever. You got the populars, you got the band, you got who the hell knows. Anyway, that's how the structure is in a high school, unfortunately. Okay, what was I saying? But, okay, so yeah, however you categorize people, which I feel like the high school structure, the way we separate people into different groups and think, like, I don't know. It's just like, why? Why do that? But right to the story. So, sophomore year, high school, I basically didn't want to talk to anybody. I isolated myself away from people as much as I could. And then I'm also trying to remember everything. That's why I have notes here beside me. Trying to... But yeah, it's like I wasn't looking for anybody really relationship-wise in high school because I was so mentally going through the motions and depressed and sad, and I isolated myself from people, and I didn't get to speak my emotions to people. And also the fact that, like, I wasn't very much talkative about my emotions at all. Because back then, I thought crying was weakness, and I never wanted to cry in front of people because of that. I was just like, crying makes you weak, and I don't want to show that. And it was all crazily twisted, and I was in a rough spot, and I felt like it felt my world crashing down. I felt like nobody was there to help me. I felt like it felt like I was in a crowded room and I was screaming at the top of my lungs and nobody could hear me, basically. And um and I was a band nerd. I did regular band, I did marching band, which is the funnest. I'm sorry, concert band, but marching band was, I loved marching band the most. And I also met one of my very good friends in band, so there we go. This is, I feel so awkward, and I'm sure it feels awkward to you as well. So, grin and bear it. I'm just trying to remember and how to start from it because I haven't thought about this in a minute because there's no reason to. But you know, I know people are there on YouTube are very curious, as of me. I'm very curious just about other people's stuff and what they've gone through and what they're doing and stuff of that sort. There we go. But I'm trying to start from the beginning, but at the same time, I don't know. So sophomore year, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I wasn't looking for anything really because I kept my head down. And trying to figure. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Like, I wasn't looking for a relationship, so I wasn't getting any vibe off of any people that liked me or whatever it may be. And also back then, and probably still now, like, if someone well, I don't know about now, but I think I've gotten the grasp of it. But back then, if someone liked me, it just went over my head. Like, I didn't notice. I didn't know the signs. I didn't know shit all. I still kind of know. I still kind of don't know shit all, but it's fine. But so I'm the band nerd, okay? And then so I'm gonna be honest in all my videos. So if you don't like honest people, exit. But you can tell I'm anxious or nervous or whatever because I keep playing with my hair or doing whatever. So band nerd, not really into anything. I'm just going through the motions, going through the days, keeping my head down. And this is so awkward and hard to talk about, and I don't know why. So awkward, so awkward. I don't know, I just find this cringy, awkward, and I've read some of the receipts, and I'm like, oh. But he really, and then, so this guy, that was my high school crush, mainly romantic, so back then, and he was basically in the popular group sort of things, right? So really there was never gonna be a chance. I'm just putting that out there. Knowing social statuses or whatever, if that's, I don't understand why that's important to people, but it was, and it probably still is in high school, which I don't know why, because it's not gonna matter. But he was, look at me trying to remember. It's hard because that chapter is done. That chapter of my life is done. So I'm like, what happened? But essentially, he was the quarterback of our high school football team, and I liked him. I didn't fall for him at first. I thought he was kind of cute. I was kind of like, whatever. And then we had the same English teacher, English class, and I will never forget the first day. I think it was the first day. Anyway, we had to also, I'm gonna point this out right now, something about me, I have really good long-term memory. Short-term memory, but long-term memory I'm pretty good at. So, and the teacher gave out note cards, and basically what we had to do was we had to draw or write an animal that we thought described us, or described us. And I goofed that up because I just started doodling. To be honest, we only had to do one animal, and I doodled the second one. But that's okay. And we were sitting right next to each other, and I didn't think of it really because we were just classmates. Was whatever. Like I said, sophomore year, I wasn't looking for any of this mess. I was not looking for it. And we got to sit next to each other, and the teacher said switch, and so we had to introduce the other person. God, high school was embarrassing, wasn't it? It's all full of the cringy times. But so he said to me, which one do I do? Because I drew a cat and I drew an owl. And I told him to do the owl one because that is me. I stay up late, and that still hasn't changed. I'm a night owl. Honestly, I do YouTube, and I film my YouTube videos and TikToks at night, so you get better lighting that way. I'm sorry. And I told him to do the owl one, and I didn't really make eye contact either, really. I don't think. If I did, it was very little. Told him to do the owl one. This is where I was like, I didn't expect this. I was just like, I thought, sit in the chair, you're just like, oh, here's so-and-so. They're like, they chose this animal because they're like this, this, and this. I thought he was just gonna do it from his chair. No. No. This motherfucker gets out of his chair, stands up, and makes me the center of attention. And goes, this is Hannah, blah, 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 whatever I wrote down. When I tell you, I have never been the center of attention, okay? I have always been that person, I've always been that girl that has just been in the background. That's all I can say. And I was a broad girl. I still am. I am literally a tomboy. I can talk sports with guys. I can hang out with guys. I can do, like, that's just the way I am. I've been one of the guys since I was young, like 5 or 6 or something. So, yeah, it was really strange. It made me nervous and full of anxiety because I was not prepared for it, first of which. And it was something I didn't expect. And then he sat back, like, when I tell you, he stood up and he went like, so this is Hannah. Obviously his arm was straight out and he was standing up like he was presenting a much more, I don't know, speech. And I was like, oh Jesus. And then that got in my head and I was like, well, he did that for me, so might as well. Let me tell you, I was still nervous and still full of anxiety. I stood my ass up, barely making contact with anybody. And I was like, I'm pretty sure my voice was shaking as well. And he chose a panther, like a black puma. And I said his thing and whatever, and I sat nervously and awkwardly back down. So that's something that happened. But also, I just would like to say that I think it was even before that happened. Maybe not. Again, I'm fuzzy on the timeline because I've not thought about this stuff in so long. And so I just want to keep you guys in mind, like, we never spoke to each other. We never exchanged conversation at all. All we knew was each other's names. We never had a conversation. We never spoke words to each other at all. And I remember this day as well, that I came in, because obviously I wore glasses in high school. I started wearing them a bit less. Like, I would say towards the end of sophomore year, junior year, somewhere. Because here's the thing, guys. I've been wearing glasses since forever. And I can see without them. Okay? And what is it? It's like, there's farsighted and nearsighted, and yes, I am procrastinating because I don't want to talk about this anymore. But I have to because I'm making a video about it. But I just wanted to put that out there, that when I had glasses, not paid attention to me. He basically didn't, I mean, obviously, like, he knew my name, but that was it. I wasn't really a center of existence. Never existed, really, until one morning I came to school without my glasses, right? And I forget what it was. I don't remember if my glasses broke or I forgot them or something. I didn't have my glasses on that day morning, and I ran late, and zero class was just hanging around in the hallway. So it was him and his friends, and can I just tell you, this dude, because I didn't have glasses, he literally looked at me, eyes wide and mouth open. Wide. After that, I think it was from that day on, I just got like, he never talked to me still, but he would like, I don't know. It sounds kind of creepy, but let me know, guys, what does this mean? Fellas, what does this mean? Help us out. What does this mean? He never talked to me. He never had a conversation with me ever. Never spoke words. But he would like watch me. He would like look at me and stuff. But he never spoke words to me. I don't know. I still don't know what that means, ladies. So fellas, help us out, because we don't know what that means, or at least I still don't. But he would like watch me and stuff like that, and oh, I don't know what that means. Let's see here. So it took me a while to fall for this guy, like actually get like what we had was puppy love, okay? And I feel like that's normal for high school relationships, or if you want to get into a high school relationship. Excuse me. I burped. But yeah. I slowly and gradually got feelings for this dude. And since we can speak words to each other, I was like, it's so cringy. I wrote letters to express how I felt to him, and I would leave it on top of his locker. And the reason how I'd never stalked this man, but the way our high school was set up is that it was easily to see where everybody's lockers were, because there wasn't a wall or anything. It was literally just a whole room and then lockers, and you can just see where everybody went. And I remember this one day I left a note on his locker on top of it, and what I didn't count on was the fact that he brought his whole boy posse with him. I was just like, holy shit. And also, like, so you had the gathering center over here, and then you had the stairs, which had like giant black poles, and then you got the lockers on the other side. I literally hid behind one of the poles as he approached with his like posse of what, five, six people. And he found it, and he read it. We made eye contact for a quick second, and like me, I ran away. I made quick eye contact and I ran the fuck away because I was embarrassed, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh shit. What else happened? I Oh, so something that I did was I even asked, because I started getting feelings for this dude, so I was asking my friends. I asked two different people, by the way. I asked my friends' opinions just about him in general. And one said, oh, he's really sweet and a nice guy. And then the other one was like, he's a jerk. So I had mixed opinions, not knowing what I was going to get. And to be honest, I met the nice side first. I thought he was very nice and stuff like that. So I was also and the other friend that I asked when she was saying like he's a jerk, I commend her, she tried to get me interested in other people. Basically, she tried to set me up with like other nerdy dudes, so I commend her for that, for her trying to be like, don't go with that dude. No. See. I mean, if you're still watching, you can obviously tell it's hard for me to think of this stuff because A, I wrote notes because I can't remember them all on my own. And two, I haven't thought about this in years. So I'm cringing. I gotta cross some of these out. Okay. But yeah, in a way, like I said, he didn't really acknowledge my existence really until I didn't have my glasses on, which my mind was already like everywhere already, so me trying to think of what were the good signs and the right signs of a guy liking me or not was probably not a priority. Because my mind was so, oh my god, my mind was everywhere. I can't. Let's see. But yeah, so I started gradually falling for this guy, and then one day at school, this was a day I actually, was like I got the thought, you like this guy. Because, so we were in English class, the tables were all different now, so we were not sitting next to each other anymore. And our teacher was like, okay, you guys gotta, just do, get together with, split up people from tables and get them to discuss something like the book or the story or the quiz or whatever the heck. So we got split up into groups, and my table was split up, and I was at his table where he sat now with other people there. And I want this to keep in mind and noted, because teachers, I swear. So this English teacher, she had her little cubicle, and then she had a little table that was her desk, And then it was his table. So there was only this. Here, I'll turn this way. There was only this little squib. That little squib of room to fit a chair. And I saw that and I'm like, nah. So, because I just pulled a chair from a table and I was just going to sit across like a regular person would do. She pipes up and says, Hannah, sit there. Why don't you pull your chair in here? I was like, yeah, I just did it because I don't know. I had nothing to say back to her, so I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So I squeezed a chair in that spot, and then we started talking, and I just kind of sat there in silence because that's where I felt really nervous, and I just sat there, and we started discussing or whatever, and then he got up and left the room to use the bathroom or something or whatever. He comes back, and he goes through my way, the little squeezed in chair way, and I'm just sitting in silence. He comes, because here's the thing, there with this table, he could have went the other way, because there was a crack, so his table, and then there was a little bit of space of here, and then another table. So it's like he could have gone that way and went around and gone back to his chair. But he decided to go through the path of my way, where I had to squeeze a chair in a tiny little space between her desk and their table. And where he sat was right there on the end, so she basically got me to sit next to him in a way. So he went through my way. He's like, Hannah, excuse me. And I get up. I get up out of the chair and I'm like, okay, yeah. And he's like squeezing past of what he could, like, because I tipped the chair up a little bit so he can like actually squeeze through and sit back. And then I thought in my head, you know what, I'm gonna help him out a bit more. So I pulled the chair a bit more over. So like there were like chair legs sticking out. He tripped over the chair leg and like face planted on the marker board, the marker wall, and he just smacked up against it. I put the chair back down. I sat down. Could you not? I stared at the doors to leave the classroom. I literally stared at them, and my soul ran out of my body and out of the room. My soul left me because of how embarrassed and awful I felt. I just sat back down, stared at the doors, and my soul left me out of embarrassment. Could you not? I did speak a word after that. I didn't look at anybody. I literally used my peripherals at one point, and he was just staring dead beat at me. No. Once that class was over, I was like, get me the fuck out of here. I was happy to leave. Oh my god. But yeah, that just goes to show I'm very much capable of embarrassing myself and being a clumsy bitch. So I'm very capable of that. So that was that. And it was, granted, I think it was Granted, I think it's kind of hilarious that back in the day that kind of stuff went over my head. If a dude liked me or whatever, because I remember, I don't have this written down, but this just came to mind. So me and my friend, we were doing a project for that class with a book, and we had to basically, one person had to lay down on a piece of long construction paper. You know, it's that paper that's like always in the tubes or whatever, the rollers. And we had to take a piece of that, and we had to trace somebody. We had to trace a person and cut it out and stuff like that. So you had to do that in the hallway, and then you had people inside the classroom doing something else. I don't remember what for. And I remember his friend came out to get a glue stick, I think, or something, and then he just popped out and he just looked down the hallway at me, and then he went back inside. And I remember after that class was done, I asked my friend who I was with in that class, and I asked her, like I said, this stuff went over my head. I had no clue. I honestly had no idea or no sense of anything. And I remember asking her, like, do you need 2 people to come out to borrow a glue stick? To grab a glue stick? Do you need 2 people for that? And she just, I think she just kind of looked at me weird, like, no. But, yeah. Interesting. Let's see what else. So, welcome to awkward moments of my high school career. So there came a point where I got brave and I sent him a Facebook request. So keep in mind, I actually joined Facebook in 2013. So that was interesting in itself. And I sent him a Facebook request. And in that point in time, it took a week or 2 or a couple days. I don't really remember how long. He got back he accepted it, and I remember being happy about it. But yeah, we chatted, but I literally looked at the receipts, cuz Jesus. But yeah, we chatted, or mostly I chatted, but the main thing we started talking about, I actually got brave here. This is so dumb. Oh, I cringe. And let me just point this out as well, that he has blocked me since then, and to be honest, that's fine with me, because he has his life, I have my life. I have all of you beautiful people who watch my videos, watch me as a weirdo. So I'm very happy to have all of you. So but yeah, again, I haven't thought about him years. I have no romantic feelings toward this person. I just want to make that clear. But this was kind of I guess, our history and stuff. So, but yeah, I was very much I would say the pursuer. He didn't really do much. But one of our conversations, your girl grew a pair of balls. And this isn't the only time that I tried to be brave or ballsy. So, but yeah, I have been the pursuer, or the chaser, however you want to put it. And I was like, and this is 2014. Jesus Christ. So I said, hey, can I ask you something? No reply. And I said, same day, this is June 8th, 2014. I said, hey, can I ask you something? ? Then I said, would you like to go out with me? ? No response whatsoever. June 10th, 2014. Hey, blank, you there? ? Again, I don't name drop, so yeah. June 13th, 2014, he responds and says, sorry, Hannah, no, I'm already with another girl. So, let me just put that in perspective. That first, the way I remember it, I thought he said a girlfriend. And then looking at the receipts, these Facebook messages from a long time ago, looking at them today, I didn't realize, I thought he just said, I have a girlfriend. Sorry, Hannah, I have a girlfriend. That's how I remember it. But rereading this makes me think, oh, it's still whatever, but sorry, Hannah, no, I'm already with another girl. He doesn't even mention the title. Doesn't even mention it. He was dating somebody, so obviously that crushed my spirits a little bit. So after that, me thinking in my brain, don't know why I keep doing this. Back to it. So once I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm a little sad now, but he has somebody and I don't want to ruin that. So out of respect of the person he was dating in 2014, I was like, no, you're not going to talk to me while you have somebody. That's wrong. So I ghosted him. That was basically the ghost. I was like, no, this is wrong. You're not going to talk to me. But then I started really, really liking him. And I was like, fuck. I remember thinking this. I remember thinking, shit, damn it. I really like this guy. So I just want to iterate that, like, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay because you can't always help who you fall for. Okay? Nobody has control over that. Unless they're really spiteful and mean. I am not spiteful and mean, and I think, again, just as I said it, I think that's wrong. If you have a partner and you're talking to somebody else romantically or however the goal, because that's what, again, I've fallen for him, and I was thinking romantically, and I think the good thing is that he was like, no, I'm with somebody, but he had a girlfriend, and in here, he just, again, to reiterate, he says, sorry, Hannah, no, I'm already with another girl. He doesn't acknowledge the girlfriend title whatsoever. Interesting. So, but it's okay to make a mistake, and it's okay because we can't always control who we fall for, is the point that I want to make. Because I did keep messaging him, but he never responded. I was talking to myself, and to be honest, from the beginning here, he only responded one other time to me. So, to be fair, I was talking to myself. Anyway, so there we go. But obviously nothing happened with us. And since we're talking about the girl he was dating, I'm just crossing things out so I don't repeat them. So this person he was seeing back then, she actually came up to me one day, face to face with me, and was like, you just want to date him because of his status. And I think the best part was the fact that I heard her, but I never acknowledged her existence because I was paying attention to what he was doing or talking to his friends about, because he looked worried or something. From what I remember. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't really remember, but I remember just like looking at him because he looked frazzled or worried about something. So I was more concentrating on what was going on behind her than her existence in front of me. Because I don't care. I don't care what other people think of me. I never have. And that's a proven example right there, is that I didn't give a flying fuck. I didn't, because firstly she was accusing me that I liked him romantically because of his status. And the thing is, if any of my close friends that I have kept in my life, they know that I am not the type of person to do that. Never in my life will I ever steal someone else's man if they are in a committed relationship. Because that is wrong. And scummy. And also that is very, very low. That is lowest of lows if you are just staying in a relationship with somebody because of their status. That is the lowest of lows. And I will never date somebody for that. That's stupid. That will never last. I will be surprised if someone out there says, yo, I faked my relationship for this many years and I only dated that person because he was popular. Like, there's nothing to build off of that. If you're not feeling it, I don't, this is just me. Like, if I'm not, like, I don't know. I just find it strange, like, if you're not romantically feeling it with somebody who wants it to be romantic, it's not really gonna end up romantic, is it? Because I understand people pleasers wanting to please everybody and make sure everybody's happy and stuff like that. But I would have to say there is a limit and there is a boundary because of taking that too far to please someone. Don't be in a relationship, whether it be a friendship or a relationship romantically. Be in it to be in it. Don't fake, don't pretend to feel something if there's nothing to feel there. What's the point? If you don't feel anything with that person, how can you be around them? I mean, I do understand, like, people will grow. Like, I feel like, but I guess that's just me. I guess I can see, like, you eventually falling in love with someone. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Don't pretend. Be in it to be in it. Like, and the thing is too, like, a relationship is not you and this person combined. Like, you're only mine for forever. It's you and another person coming together and sharing memories and making the most of everything and being romantically in love and everything. There shouldn't be a point system. There shouldn't be a 50-50. There shouldn't be. It's not a competition. It's not a competition with the other person. The other person is your partner, is your lover. There's a reason you chose each other, correct? And if there's something wrong, is there something bothering you, you should be able to talk to them about it. What, like, but I am going to fit this in there, that everybody will be in a different phase of their relationship. So every relationship is different, romantically or just a friendship. It's different for everyone, but when you choose to give yourself to another individual, you have to work together. It's not a competition to out-petty who or to scale it upwards. It's not a competitive sport. It's not like a competition. It's not a competitive sport. This is your partner in crime. You work together. I don't know. But I'm going to say this too, is that there is so much a single individual can put up with, though. They just have to let the other person know their boundaries and what they are willing to put up with, what they are willing to stand with. And obviously, if you cross that line or that boundary, depending on the individual, that's either it or they're going to give you another chance. So it really does depend on the person and the relationship. But don't be in it to just get their status. There is no point. There is no nothing with that, in my opinion. This can be an unpopular or popular opinion. I don't really give two shits. It's my opinion that you should not make a competition between you and the other person. You're in a relationship for a reason. Why are you working against each other? And another thing I just want to point out as well is that their friends have been with them longer. Whenever you started dating that other person, they have friends and they have friends before you came together as one. Okay? So things can go either way. It's just situations and different things that test every couple of what they deserve and what they think they deserve. So it all depends on personalities as well, I think so. I think it depends on the personalities as well, like if you mesh or vibe with each other as well. So okay, I think I ranted and said my piece on that. Oh, where's that? Okay. So back to this. So here was another point where I was brave. There. Now it's not just my fingers. I was going like this. So another point which I was brave was when we were having a school dance. School dance was coming up. And with this school dance with my high school, we called it Swirl. And basically it was flipped. Because of course, usually what would happen would be the guys asking the girls out. And Swirl was the switching it up and getting the girls to ask the guys out. And I was nervous as hell, and so a couple, I want to say like maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks went by before I became brave enough to ask him. And also, I believe he was on crutches because he hurt something. He hurt his leg or his knee. I don't remember, but I do remember he was on crutches at the time. And I had 2 of my friends come with me because I was scared out of my mind. And at first he had his friends with him. It was at the end of the school day, mind you. So his friends went downstairs because there was a hallway and there was the gymnasium, and there was some elevator, and then you had stairs as well, and you go down the stairs and you're in the gym. So he was waiting for the elevator and all his friends were gone, and my friends, I think, wished me luck, and he was all by himself. I walked over there, and I wasn't brave enough to say anything. So I was trying to picture in my head like someone that I talk to all the time and act like I'm talking to them. And it worked because I got the words out. I was just like, hey, do you want to go to Swirl with me? And I will imply he was nice. He was nice about it. He was just like, I'm sorry, Hannah, but someone already asked me. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I think I said, okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I think that's what I said. And then I walked away. And I ran away as well because I was riding the bus. And I was the last one on my bus. So I almost missed my ride home that day. But if anything, try again. You know, you never know. So I guess there's that. You try again until, you know, that's it. So with all this nervousness and craziness, there came a point where I forget what year, but there came a point where I was getting back on my feet and I was feeling myself a bit more, trying to be brave, trying to feel confident again, because my confidence was 0 or 1%, and I wasn't all that brave. And so in this instance, I'm going to talk about the mistake I made. So with that instance being said, it came to the end of the year, we're signing yearbooks or whatnot, and I got it in my thought process that, you know, if I could get one of his friends to sign my yearbook, I would be brave enough to ask him to sign it. And that went to shit because he got pissed and walked away, and his friend was shocked that I asked him. And given that that was my bad, that was my mistake, and I own that, so he had a right to be pissed at me. So we all make mistakes in our life. That was one of mine, and I own that. But give and take, it was what I thought. You know, I thought if I could get someone else to first, I would be brave enough to ask him. So in hindsight, it was an alright thought, but the outcome, it was a bit lost and misguided. So that was my mistake. And I own that. And he had a right to be pissed off. So that's one situation. And that was me trying to get me back on my feet. Because again, throughout high school, even though I was going through the roughest time ever, I was still concerned about other people and was still caring about other people's lives and making sure they were okay, even though I was never okay. Guess that's just the person I am. I'm very caring. I'm very nurturing when I need to be. But yeah, I have learned that I can't save everybody, and there's a point where I need to say, that's enough. So this time, I was getting back on my feet, and this is when, like, I was still, I was keeping my bully at arm's length, and she was an inner circle friend back then. And basically, she gave me a letter. I still have the letter somewhere, but in short, it was just to keep in mind that this individual, she loved attention and she didn't care how she got it. And she never wanted to be alone. She always needed somebody else with her. And she always blamed me. I was always the one that was doing something wrong. And literally I breathed wrong and I made her pissed off. So there we go. So she gave me a letter saying, Hannah, it really pisses me off when you do blah 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 whatever. This man comes around the corner. This is the first time he spoke ever words to me, besides, the other times. And after reading this letter, again, one of my guy friends came by and he said, is that a love letter? And I said, I wish it was, because it was just a lot. And I was still fragile emotionally. And also I didn't want to cry in front of anybody. So this dude, he came around the corner and he said, hey babe. And I said nothing because I was holding in my tears. I didn't want to cry in front of him. I was holding in my tears. And his friend grabbed him and scooted him away. And it was just like, fuck. And after that, I literally ran away. And I found a dark doorway. I found a black, dark doorway, sat in the darkness, and I cried my eyes out. And what's interesting enough is that there was an older guy who walked by, in a different class, of course, because he was older than me, school-wise and age-wise. He was walking past and he heard my cries, looked into the darkness, looked at me and asked me if I was okay. And at that point, and I said, yeah, I'm fine, and I'm wiping away the rest of my tears. I watched her and one other friend we had, walk down a hallway where all the choir and the band was. They didn't hear my cries, but he did. And so when they circled back, I love this memory because it's the first time I ever stood up for myself, and I find it very important to go back. I find it a very important memory and a significant milestone, if you will. So it was the first time I ever stood up for myself. They came around, they said, hey, we were looking everywhere for you. And I said, they kept talking, chattering, and I said, bullshit. And they were hella stunned, and I walked away, and I sat with my other group of friends who were nerdy and amazing. Nerdy and amazing. They are still amazing, and I love them so much to this day. And I would just like to point out, at that time, they never saw me cry. They never saw any other emotion, really, of me. And when I tell you, I sat down, I grabbed my friend, my closest friend near me. I literally grabbed her forcefully, and I cried again in her arms. And she was surprised. She was shocked, but they were all very helpful and supportive, and I loved them. Granted, this is also the day that I don't like school counselors, because so everybody else went to class, and me and one of my friends at that table, we decided to report this, because there was a point to the bullying where we did talk to each other, being like, this is not good, this is not nice, and clearly that didn't work, because when she gave me a hug, it didn't feel empathetic at all to me. So we took it to the school counselor at this point, and my school counselor, you know how you're assigned to a specific one? My school counselor was not there today, so I went with some other school counselor, and she was, I don't even know, aloof, I would say. Because she said, did you guys try talking it out? And right there, I was just, I was numb, and I was pissed off at that point. And I was just like, yeah. I was holding in my sarcastic assness, and I was just like, are you, like, nah. So, in my experience, school counselors don't do shit, even if you do take a situation like that to them. So, but that was the first time he ever called me bae, and that was, it was cool, but it was also the fact that I didn't want to share any emotions in front of anybody. So it was like, it was cool to hear, but also it was like, fuck, because missed opportunity to say something. And afterwards, I got teased by, saying, oh, you should have leapt in his arms and cried in his arms. It would have been so romantic and this and that. So, there's that. So after which point, so there came a point where honeymoon phase or puppy love phase was like going down, because, oh wait, before I talk about that, I want to fit this in here. So it was, I believe it was junior or senior year. We had the same gym class, and we were playing dodgeball. And keep in mind, like I said, I started wearing my glasses less and less. So senior year, I didn't wear them as much. And so we were playing a game of dodgeball, and I was the last one on my side, and there was a guy on the other side, because obviously you split right down the middle, this team side and the other team side. Dodgeball's in the middle. Unfortunately for me, I would space out, and I spaced out in that moment in time, and that was very bad. Granted, it wasn't the best timing. So I was all up in my head. I spaced out. I literally took one turn, one head turn, dodgeball straight in my eye. I don't remember if I fell down or it just knocked me in the eye, and I was like, oh. I will say, so we had a comedian in our school year, and he was like, I got hit in the eye, I'm sitting there, the teacher was really concerned, like he ran over to me, he was like checking if I was alright and everything, but our comedic guy, he was like, in my school year, he was funny. Anyway, he was like, "You monster!" and stuff like that. And I would just like to say, when I'm mad, when I'm pissed off, because I was pissed off. I was like really mad that I got hit I got hit by a dodgeball in the eyeball. So so I was walking this way, I did one head turn. Straight in this eyeball. And so I was pissed. I was ticked off. So I wanted my revenge. I feel like the teacher said, "Do you want to sit out?" and whatnot. And I said no. Because I went back in for the next game, and I was like, bitch, I'm pissed off. And when I'm mad at a certain level, I don't throw well. Literally, when I was able to pick up a dodgeball, I chucked it, and it literally landed like not even really far. So I wanted revenge. I was ticked. Don't mess with me. And in this process, so I went in, and obviously my crush or whatever, he was in front of me, and he was, hold on. Ugh. He was going like this in front of me. So I'm just standing behind, and he's going like this, like in front of my vision, and I didn't know what the hell he was doing, because I was moving, and he was moving the same way, like this, and I was just like, I didn't know what he was doing until later. I figured out that he wanted me to jump on his back, which there was no verbal communication. Keep in mind, like if he would have said to me, "Hannah, jump on my back," I may have, but there was no verbal communication there. He was just going like this whenever I scooched over, because I didn't know what the hell he was doing. And then out of my peripheral, I saw his hands go like, it didn't make that sound, but I saw his hand going like forget it, in a very petty, pissed off way. And I'm like, and I'm already pissed off because I got hit in the eye, so of course that made me more pissed off, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't know. And then, along with that, the honeymoon phase, the puppy dog phase, feelings were like, not really feelings, but like the honeymoon phase, you know, like all the happy stuff that was happening at the start, you know, being really into him. It started to deflate because I started to get really a little frustrated because there was no communication and there was nothing going on. So I'm just like sitting here like, what the fuck's going on? Like, are we something? Are we nothing? What the fuck is going on? Pardon me. Excuse me. Got it. Hold on. So in that point in time, I'm just getting kind of frustrated here because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know where we're at. I have no idea what's going on. So, and that's basically where it was left. And of course, eventually, I got Instagram when I was a senior in high school. So, I've followed him on Instagram, and of course, I already had him on Facebook, and that was basically it. He blocked me, and I've been blocked ever since, and to be honest, it's whatever. He's living his life, I'm living my life, and I'm so grateful and thankful to have all of you guys. So, at the end of the day, life goes on, and you can't dwell on what could have been or would have been back in your past, because I'm sure if you had a time traveling device or whatever, I'm sure some of you out there would be like, I would go back to this date and change this. But when you think about it, the mistakes or the lessons we make and learn from those, and that's what makes us who we are today, present day us. So, we're not the same person we once were. You know how interests change, hobbies change, people change, we grow, and as you can see, if we actually became a couple, do I think we could have lasted? To be honest, probably not a long time. I wouldn't think we would last a long time just because mentally I wasn't, there. I wasn't confident in myself and everything else. So I don't think we would have lasted. So, but that's my point of view. Again, there's two parts to every story, so I don't know what he thinks or whatever, but that's kind of the history and what has led everything up to. And right now, I'm fine. I'm literally living my life. I'm getting everything going. I'm grinding hard with work. with the work. Now not only, working during the day with a lot of doggos, but also working, being a full-time working with doggos and full-time influencer. So I'm grinding and I'm trying to do the best I can. I don't know what else to say. In fact, like, everything we do, everything we do leads up and forms us into something that's better than the last one. That didn't really explain much, did it? Think of us as like clay. When we're younger, when kids are young, we tend to respond to visual and we imitate the things we observe. So like our parents saying something or doing something, and then we're just like, we imitate it. And then we learn we discover who we are and everything else. We just discover, and that we grow with each other. And we have friends for a season, and we have friends that last a lifetime. And there's a reason why things happen. I personally believe that everything happens for a reason, and there were reasons why people are in your life to teach you something, and then they leave or they stay because they have more to teach you. It's really how you look at it, and I will say I like to learn things, so and better understand, and I do observe. So, not in a creepy way, but I'm just saying, when you're looking at a situation, you're just like, you observe it, what's a good word? Like you're doing a science experiment in a way. You're just kind of like, okay, how would I interpret this if I had to face this situation? You know what I mean? And if you don't know already, guys, I'm very expressive. When I talk, I'm very expressive with my hands. So, but yeah, the point I'm getting at, and the hope that someone else learns from my mistakes by watching this video, if you're still in high school or whatever you're attending this year, in the years to come, some things are meant to stay forever and some are not. Some are there just to teach you something and then leave. So take that as you will. Also, I want to show you something. Hold on, I need to get it. So after some hard work and stress and tears, because I would just like to say, not only was I the graduating class of 2015, that's the year I graduated from high school, was the class of 2015, but I also, if I can speak, I also started college in 2015 and have been going to college, and I finally was able to graduate in December of 2020. It came. So this is my graduation diploma that took forever to get here. I'm very proud of it. I worked hard for it, even though it's just a general associate's degree. I worked hard for this, and a lot of stress, blood, sweat, and tear, but mostly stress went into this. Because here's another thing too, is that when you're 18, when you graduate high school, whether you're 18 or 19, whatever age you graduate high school in, it's okay to not know everything by 18. You're not supposed to know everything by that age. You're not supposed to know what you're supposed to be doing the rest of your life at age 18. It's okay if you don't know. Because I didn't know. But I got this at the end of that journey. And I did a lot of different classes too. So it's okay not to know. And life is a journey, and it happens in sections. And sometimes it takes a while to understand that even though that moment was horrible, awful, or whatever you were going through was completely badness, awfulness, horribleness, and not the best, you soon realize and look back like, damn, I improved so much since then, and I continued to grow. So you continue to grow as an individual. That's just what happens, and it's okay. It's also okay to take time for yourself, because I'm that kind of person as well. I love being around people. I love being around my friends, especially since we've been kind of stuck. I mean, we can move around now, but I miss my friends dearly since being stuck. But like, I don't know. Life is a journey. It's a crazy ride. It's a crazy train ride, and you just have to let it go. You just gotta let it do its thing. You gotta trust the process and hope. Because I will be honest, there are times where I don't like being in control or losing control of something, because then I'm like, shit, I need something else. I need like a backup plan and stuff like that. Because I've said this once before, I'm a just in case person. Even when it comes to packing for trips and stuff, like I sometimes tend to overpack just because you never know. So there are points where I just gotta let it go. Just let things go. So, but life is gonna be the craziest journey, the craziest story to tell your kids or whoever. It's just enjoy the ride at the end of the day. Enjoy it. There's gonna be times when you're not going to be happy with it. There's going to be times when you're happy with it. There's going to be heartbreak. There's going to be love. There's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff. But you'll get through it. It's temporary. You can change it. So I think that's a good note to stop on. This has been my story and history of I ghosted my high school crush and why. How it happened. So I hope you enjoyed it, as awkward as cringy as it was. I felt very awkward. I have cringed inside. Hopefully you had too, or enjoyed me cringing and trying to stop. Procrastinate, that's the word. Trying to procrastinate out of this. But I think I did pretty good. So, I love you all. I'm so thankful for all of you. I will try not to be annoying about subscribing and liking. Although I will say liking does help me see what you guys like and don't like on my channel. That does help quite a bit, because it gives me an inkling to know what to post more of and what not to do. As of subscribing, I've said this for a lot of videos, I think now. I'm not about forcing people to do what they want to do. So subscribe if you wish to, or not. It's up to you. And I love you so much. Also, I am sorry for not posting last week. It was a busy one, but videos are coming. So I will see you all soon.
You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you're chasing. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment.